First, there was only one bus that came after 2 days. So when the bus arrives, all people, you know, come together around the bus because it comes with fruits, it comes with bread, it comes with visitors, it comes with so many things. You know, the bus was usually packed. So everybody, they even closed the office, the post office, they closed to go to the bus because it comes with the post office, you know. So at my age, that was something unique, that why do all people run after the bus when it arrives? So I started capturing it in my mind. And by that, I took a pencil, and that's how I started to paint. That was in 1969. And the name of the bus was the KANGALIKA. KANGALIKA means suffering, but enduring, but finally arriving. So that bus could arrive even at midnight, sometimes in the morning, sometimes at very late, very dirty, muddy, dusty. And when you get inside the bus, there is full of people and all sorts of smell, from the oranges, the smell of the bread, the hair perfume of women, the cigarette smoke inside there, and it's fully congested, you know, up to the brim. People are hanging, you know, pushing one another, the sweat of people, you know. And when it arrives, people comes around it and they gather around it. Everybody, some even from the office, they leave the office, they come to look the KANGALIKA. You know why? Because it comes with bread, it comes with grandmothers, with girlfriend, with a stranger, with everything, you know. When KANGALIKA comes, it's like a mother coming back home after staying away for a day, 2 days. And everybody rejoices. And the smell of KANGALIKA, until today, I can still remember. I was 9 years old, but I still can remember very well the smell of KANGALIKA. They are made of different materials: plastic, cardboards, and timber. So many different materials. Yes, yeah. Aluminium sheets. This one also, I'm trying to use this one to build my bike there. These are some of the materials I use. You see, this is the sign of the Honda. The models of buses I made when I was 17. That was in 1976. So this was one of the best buses that was chosen. That is also in the book of records. In 1975, you find the coast bus. This is the boot. The first time we saw the bus having the luggage compartment down, because those ones they had on top. So this one was the first bus we saw having the luggage compartment down here. This is the driver's seat, the steering, the gear lever, and there's some more in the studio there. See, all this is waste materials. This is a grader, motor grader. Yeah. And these are some collected materials, you know, from the garbage, from the taka. That's why you see this workshop is like this. For me, everything here is art. So when I was young, the machine used to work because our home was near to the road. So when making the road, you know, we used to follow this machine very closely and look at it, you know. So when I grew up, I just wanted to test my memory. Can I remember those things when I was young? And so that's why I made this one. This is completely out of memory. And even the way the tire, you see the tire, they can spin that way and that way. They can change, you know. This car, in 1969, I was 9 years old. And my family friend used to come with a car like this, park outside the house. I was like about older than him a little. And I said, wait, when I grow up, have to buy the Volkswagen. So this Volkswagen, the dream came true. I found it abandoned somewhere and I said, look at this. Isn't this what I said I would buy when I grew up? And I bought this one. And then I got these ones also. Are in my collections. You cannot buy this car at any price because I don't sell. Even if you give me $1 million, I don't sell because it's a dream come true. In future, I would like to make a range of buses, maybe about 20 to 30 to 40, starting from 1961 to 1986, and then the new buses of the future buses. I still can remember them as if it's yesterday, because I used to observe them quite a long time. I could stay hours looking, just staring at the bus. And so when I travel with it, they travel the whole day. I keep on looking every part of it. I know it, even when I hear it passing through there, I will tell you that is such a bus. Because I was very curious after seeing people who are very, very much, attracted to the bus. So for me, it was a very important equipment that I couldn't forget anything about it. I could even know the engine roll, how the starter acts, I don't know, the handbrake. I could listen everything in details. No, I didn't know that I was an artist by that time. I was still in school. I just made for some, like fun, just like fun. I didn't know what is the meaning of art. So I just made something very little, maybe from a page like that. I come and show you, you give me 20 shillings, it's enough, So the bus owners are the people who gave me the moment of knowing that I am important to them by giving me free tickets, by giving me sponsorship. That's why I am so much interested in the buses. You see, you will find so many paintings with the buses because it was the first thing that made me understand myself. When they started giving me free tickets, they could pay me a lot of money. They could give me chances to visit those places which I didn't know. So that's when I discovered that the bus is very important to me. And that's how I started art. So I started collecting the models from 69 to 1986. So after that, now I joined the Coast Bus to make the design and models of buses. I worked with them for the time being, and then I worked as a bus conductor, as a bus inspector. I went so many routes around. And then after that, I became a truck driver. After working as a truck driver, I came to Malindi and I stayed without a job for so long. So I was willing to do any kind of job. Then a friend of mine introduced me to an Italian man. This Italian man, after seeing some sketch works, he said, your work is worth to be done an exhibition in Europe. So he gave me an order of about 20 paintings. I made 20 paintings, and that was the first time, 1992. I've been painting from 1990. this Land Rover is grey. And the wife of this manager was a friend to my mother. So the husband was somebody very slim, very small. And the wife was big like Drozi. I think that's where I started liking the large ladies. So when they're seated in the Land Rover, the husband is somehow like a boy, and the lady is some bigger, you know. So I used to admire him. So one day, we were traveling from here, Malindi, to where my father was working, and then we were stuck for 5 days, 4 or 5 days, in the forest. And the way the Land Rover was, you know, striving to get out of that mud, sometimes you could feel pity to the Land Rover. Because the whole day, until you could feel, oh, my dear Land Rover is going to get breaking here. So I wish I had a camera to take these things, you know. But since I didn't have a camera, I started making some sketches. And I said, if God wishes I grow up, I have to buy that Land Rover. A long time ago, when I was in school, that was in 1979, in Form 3, my father was living very far away from where I was in school, and the school was a day school. So I had to rent a room because I didn't have any relative around. And when it reaches every 27th time of the year, of the month, I start to starve. Because my father had to give the bus conductor some money to bring me to school. It's about 300 kilometers away. So sometimes it rains and the bus never comes. So I start to starve. So when it comes to that manner, then I had to look for an alternative. For this reason, I went to join a band and I started playing the drum set. So when we were going to the hotel, I met Drozi. Drozi, this large lady, you know, coming from the seat. She was coming to pass near my drum set, and I was very interested in her because, you know, she was very big, just the way she see. And she was looking at me, she was smiling, and I kept on smiling at her, and that's the time I met Drozi. So she invited me for a lunch one day, and then for a dinner, and thus we started becoming friends. But the parents of Drozi were those kind of people who were very racist. He didn't like to see the daughter with a black man, and he quarreled so much to Drozi until she was shaken. And about 5 days later, Drozi started turning like gloomy, like worried, like starting to become sick. And I had a dream at night that some 2 angels has appeared, and they were demanding to pull Drozi. And I was holding Drozi by the waist, trying to resist with her. But she was very slippery, and then they fly away, and I woke up, and Drozi was just beside me, sleeping. After that dream, the next day she collapsed when driving. And when she was taken to the hospital, she died. It was the first time, 1992, to exhibit in Europe. In 1992. So they invited me there. I stayed for 1 week. And then I came back. So when my work was introduced there, that's the time I started selling in Europe. Well, people were amazed because they had not seen a painter of buses, trucks, Drozi, large women, planes, vessels. You know, people only paint sceneries, trees, animals, you know, buildings, but not specifically vehicles. trains, planes, and so on, those things. So it was like, is this from Africa? Oh, you're from Africa. Oh, this is great. This is great. This is great. That's the first time I saw my work to have value. I didn't even know that my work has value. That is the first time I saw curators, art dealers, many people coming around, gathering around me, newspapers, writing aloud about me on the papers. And that's when I started discovering, oh, so art is something important. I didn't know this. 1992. This man was paying me very little money. In 1 month, I used to paint 4 paintings, which is like 1 million Kenya shillings. But out of that 1 million for him, he gives me 10,000. It's like 10%. 10%, yeah. So for 3 years, because he made me sign an agreement. And people told me, oh, he's exploiting. I said, no, just leave him. I'm not interested in money. I am interested to show my viewers what I can do. This is all I need. So I worked for 3 years with that little money. So by the time I finished 3 years, I asked him, now, I've been working for you 3 years. What do you think? Do you think you can change something out of this? No, we go on like that. I said, no. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now, I'm trying to look if I can find those models somewhere around. Then I would like to build something like a museum together with these cars and put them there. And so I want to collect them. I want to build like Mayungu there, to build something like a museum where I can put those cars, those things that I really admire. The dream of the Volkswagen, the dream of the motorbike, now the dream of the Land Rover. I'm now waiting for the dream of the bus. One day I would tell you that, Lucas, come, I have found the bus. And you will come to take photographs, we shall travel with it, and then you will experience that moment of 1969.